welcome to Retroford. This is usually the room we use for doing our tech guides, but if you step outside into the warehouse, this is where we keep some of our own cars. So this one here has not seen the light of day for 12 years, and this is a drag car. We built this in 2007 and campaigned it 2008. And we're going to run through a bit of the brief history of what we did to it and what numbers it ran. So yeah, it's been laying in here for 12 years now, and yeah, we haven't used it at all. So it's probably one of the cars we get asked the most questions about. So it runs a Duratec Mazda gearbox, and at the time we were playing around with a bit of drag racing in a standard saloon with a Duratec in it. And then, yeah, I'd made the decision that we were going to go and do a bit of drag racing. So that's how this came about. And the first thing we were going to do was make it light. So we went to the nth degree to try and make everything light. So we will be doing another video of this car when it's on the ramp, and I will run through all the technical things with it. But the history was that we wanted to run a 10-second drag car, normally aspirated, so no nitrous, no turbo. So originally the car had a 2-litre Duratec in it, and we took it to Santa Pod, and I think it ran 11.01 back to back about 8 times, and with a 2-litre we could not get it in the 10s. So the decision was made to put some more CCs under it, and we went with a 2.3 that was bored and on a stroker crank, so it comes out at sort of 2,450. It made a 304 horsepower, 235 foot-pound of torque on the dyno, and there was still another 1,000 RPM left in the engine as far as where we could rev it to. It will go to sort of 8,450 maximum RPM, but we revved it to sort of 7.5 on the dyno because it was such a fresh build. But yeah, I suspect if we properly wring its neck, it might make 330 horsepower. So yeah, and that was 12 years ago. So it was a long time ago, and it was the infancy of people putting Duratecs in anything. So I'm going to run through a few bits on the car here that we were trying to do to save weight. So we got carbon Kevlar bonnet. The headlights are just bits of Perspex printed on. The bumpers are carbon Kevlar, and we really went to town to try and get it as light as possible. So if you look, yeah, I think the indicator bits fell off here. That's bonded on a piece of Perspex to try and keep the weight down. Now at the time, all the ratios that we were running, tyre sizes and everything was all a bit sort of top secret, because you don't want to give anybody else an advantage. But now, 12 years on, yeah, we can tell you what weight it is, and it's 560 kilos with fuel in it. So it's almost half the weight of the original production car. So the horsepower per tonne, yeah, is quite impressive. And when we first got it out with a 2-litre in, as I say, only ever run an 11. And then I ran it at Classic Ford show, ran a 1069 if I remember rightly, but the car got a hell of a wobble on. I was racing somebody else in a V8 Zodiac, and it stepped out on me and come through the line on 3 wheels. So the decision was made to change a bit of the front geometry. It was originally running no toe in at all, and it used to climb over itself really bad, and we were only running 7.5 psi in the back tyres. So and it's very light, so it was a proper handful. So Classic Ford had then asked us to go and do a photo shoot, and they wanted to do a night shoot, and it was sort of late on in the year, sort of nearly autumn time. The day had been really warm, and the track was warm, but the air was cold, and it was the perfect time to run it. So I got it off the trailer, and I was nervous to run it because it had been such a handful. So I'd made the decision that Classic Ford wanted the photos, I was going to do the launch They were going to get the photos. I'd give it some in second, maybe first and second gear, and that would be it. Nathan, the lad that was working for me at the time, was there because he helped me build the car. So it came off the line, and I thought, I'm sure this has never run a 60 foot like this. It's never hooked like this. So I was like, I'm just going to keep my toe in. So yeah, it went from a 1069. I'd come back round. Nathan had said to me, "No, Dave, it ran a 10.8." And I'm like, "There's no way it ran a 10.8." He goes, "No, it ran a 10.8, Dave." I was like, "It can't have ran a 10.8. It's quicker than a 10.8." And he went, "You ran a 10.42." So that was it. That was the quickest time. And then everybody was like, "Run it again, Dave, run it again." And I was like, no, that's it. I'm not running the car again. I need to put some more safety in it. It's only got a half cage in it. We're still running Escort back axle on single leaf springs with a cow track setup. Again, in subsequent videos, we're going to run through the whole car and give you a bit more tech on the car as opposed to the history of the car. So that was 2008 that we ran it. And it's not ran since. So don't really know what to do with it next. It's running a Mazda MX-5 gearbox, and it was a standard MX-5 5-speed N7 box, but it was bulking on the synchros, and when you change gear really hard, it was bouncing off the synchros. So a friend of mine that built the 2.3 that's in it, Toby Kent, says that you can take the synchros out and use it like a dog box. So the decision was made I was going to take the gearbox out. So I took the gearbox out and took the synchros out, and now it runs like a dog box. And we campaigned the car for a whole year with a gearbox with no synchros in it and never broke it. So the car's still pretty much ready to go, but the next level of what to do with it is, do we put a proper drag gearbox in it? Do we go ladder bar on the back end? It wants a full chromoly cage put in it. So the next step's got a big jump, but it would definitely run the 9s then. So if anybody thinks we should get it back out, then if you can put something in the comments, that'd be great. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like and share all our videos, and yeah, we'll be doing plenty more. Thanks very much.